Okay.
Welcome to Models Talk. Let's talk about it.
Yes, yes, yes. Good evening. Give me that queen wave. Give me that queenly wave. How are you doing, sweetness?
I'm fine. Yourself?
Good. Miss Jacqueline Destiny Mombrun. Is that correct?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Well, what do we go by?
I just go by like my nicknames. It don't matter.
Okay. Well, what's your nickname?
It go by Jackie.
Just Jackie?
Yes.
I'll call you Jackie. Is that okay?
Yes, that's fine. That's fine.
Okay, great. Great. Look at you in your sash and crown. First, let me find out, how old are you, Miss Jackie?
I am 16 years old.
Fabulous. Oh, baby, you have a world in front of you that's going to rock it. You're going to do that thing in that world. I already know. You are a seasoned professional, young lady.
Thank you.
You're
I just
welcome.
say humble. I just like saying humble. Like everything I do, I say humble about it.
Yes, and that's a great way to be, sweetheart. But I have to give you your flowers when your flowers are due. So you are due your flowers.
Okay.
Okay? Tell me about you. What have been give me the last 5 things you've done in the last year.
Five things
Just
I've
any
done
5
last year.
from this year.
This year, okay. My stash. I run my stash for Juneteenth, Miss Juneteenth.
Uh-huh.
I was in a fashion show from Miss Jonice. I was in a fashion show from Miss Jonice. Fashion show, No Hills to Hills.
Uh-huh.
High school student.
Oh, I'm a high school student. Sorry, I go to OVS too. So
Okay. What is that?
OVS is basically Onslow Virtual School. Basically, you can be virtual and still be homeschooled, getting your work done. But thankfully, I'll be graduating next year, so that's not a problem.
So you're graduating next year?
Yes.
Oh, yay! Yes, darling.
Thank you.
I know you're excited.
And I also go to Coastal Community College.
Congratulations. So you're dual enrolled.
Yes.
All right. What are you studying in college?
I'm studying basically about learning music, like the notes and the way how the bass function, and a lot of it's just a lot of music. Like basically things about the music industry as more in a classical way, because I am a pianist also. I am my ear pianist. And so I wanted to learn more about like the notes, because I don't know how to play by note, so I want to learn how to play by reading the notes instead of listening by ear.
Right.
So it's been kind of tough, but I got this.
Yes, you do.
I'm also doing writing. I'm learning about like how to write like professionally.
It sounds like you have a lot of aspirations going on. It sounds like you are multi-talented. And by your bio, you are multi-talented, because I read your entire bio.
I'm also doing computer science too, because I just, last year, I took a class in computer science and I actually aced the test. Like, it was like a big test, and they were basically talking about how to make well, I can't say much about it, but they were talking about a lot of stuff. And so, like, it was just a lot that I can explain on it, basically extra stuff, but let's just say that it was just about technology.
All right, then. So what are you planning to be?
When I was 5 years old, I planned on being a therapist, studying psychiatry for children, young children. But
Yeah.
I am starting to have another passion into going into being a computer scientist
Oh my
with
goodness.
working with
Yes.
computers. So
Mm-hmm.
like I love the technology field, especially working with compassion robots has been like a passion since I
Oh
got
wow.
into computer science. I didn't
Uh-huh.
think because I didn't think that I would go into that field because my main focus was like being an animator. Like I wanted to create and design like the cartoons and everything else. Like that was my main goal. But
Mm-hmm.
for some reason, like my counselor was like, every girl and every boy is in that class. Let me just put you in something else. So it was like God moving me to a
Mm-hmm.
different class that I knew nothing about. So when I first got in there, I was like, I know nothing about robots or robotics engineering, but I knew a lot about like how about the hacking part, the political part of the government, about the technology. So I was like, I can do that. I don't mind. Like they talk about the black hackers, green hackers, gray hackers, and the white hackers. Like it's different parts when going into that specific part of technology. So it's not just working with different companies, it's also working with the political government side of it too.
Absolutely wonderful, baby. I wish you the best of luck when you go into, because I
Thank
know
you.
you're going to conquer anything you do. I have no doubt about that. You
Thank
know, as a seasoned model, I'm going to call you a seasoned model because, like I said, you've done some of everything.
you.
All right. What made you start modeling?
At an early age, it started when I was 5. I didn't know that I had it in me. It was just a thing. Like sometimes there would be girls in my school in elementary school, and they would try to go against me for like the fashion looks, for the looking the trend, like who can wear the trends and stuff. And I was like, I don't do that. I can just be myself. Like forget you guys. Why be popular when you can be famous?
Mhm.
Bye
Exactly.
bye. So
Exactly. I
I was
love
like,
it.
and I was just like, I like being myself. So like anything that I see that's not me, I'm like, okay, I'm not feeling this because I know who's watching and who is like. There's so many people watching now, so I gotta be
Right.
mindful.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
by being in this fashion world, I was not even looking forward to being in a fashion world, but I've always been inspired because my mom used to show me these fashion shows. We were like when I was like 5 years old, my mother and I, we would sit down and we would watch fashion shows. And I'm not talking the usual fashion shows. Like I'm talking the big fashion shows like Gucci, pretty much
Yes.
all the high ones. Pretty much all the high ones. I can't get the like Louis Louis
Louis Vuitton.
Vuitton. I was thinking about those. Like I was studying watching them, and I'm like, what? And my mom was like, one day you're gonna be on there, or one day we're going to be on there, and people are going to see us. And I was like, okay, that's cool. But my mom wasn't thinking that I'll actually be the model walking. And I was like, me? I don't know about that. And my 5 year old's mind still thinking, I'm going to be a therapist. Yes, I'm still going to be a therapist. There's nobody going to get in my way. I'm going to be a college girl and everything else. And it's mind you, I still have this attitude as in, I'm still going to be a college girl. I'm going to get my degree. And I used to always tell myself that when I go to school, I'm not worried about anybody else but my education. And so, like, that's the
Bravo.
kind of mindset I kept going in. And so I was like, I don't know where this fashion world would lead me, but I wasn't focused on that. I was just focusing on me becoming a therapist. But when God gave me that, you're going to be a model, I was like, God, I don't know about this. You really think I should really do this? He's like, I put you in this, do it. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna try it out. If things don't go well, I'm gonna just still stick to being a therapist and everything else.
Well, let me
So
say,
I
if things
started
don't go
going,
well, you can be a therapist for models. How about that?
yes.
Because sometimes we get a little cuckoo for cocoa puffs.
Yes. But I also had an interest of becoming a politician
Mhm.
because I love law.
Woo!
I love law, like law, government debates, like
Oh
anything
gosh.
with debating, and especially politician is totally my thing. Like I love the law. Like, I was thinking, my mom was like, "You'll be good at being a lawyer," and I'm like, I don't know about being a lawyer because I don't know how to defend my client that well. I don't know about that. So I was like,
Yes, you do. You'll learn.
so me and it's funny because my sisters, my sister Amila, it was me and her. One day we were in this court, like, I forgot what it's called, but we were in team court. And so my sister was like she was the prosecutor, and she was like telling like why did you do this, why did you do that, and I'm just looking, I'm like, this is something that we were 5 years old, and we used to play with dolls, Barbie dolls, and everything. But everything we pretended as when we would play with the dolls, it actually came to life. So it was
Wow.
no way. It was like a fairy tale actually coming true.
Fabulous.
I'm telling you guys, fairy tales come true.
Fabulous, darling. Fabulous. Well, you are absolutely beautiful. You're a beautiful young girl. How tall are you?
I am 6 foot without shoes.
Can I have your height?
No.
I'm 5'11". I've always wanted to be 6 feet. I just didn't get there. That's all right. I'm 6'2" in my stilettos.
But my height comes from my grandparents' side because my grandparents always had like their siblings were like giants, and I met them and they were like giants. So I'm 5 years old and I'm looking at them like, whoa, like you guys are tall. Like I want to be like, guys, you guys are like tall. And
well, I've been looking at your pictures and stuff, and look at this one. This was very nice. Where was this one from? Do you remember?
This was my first ever fashion show, which actually blew my mind. This was the designer of
No, that was Dawn Harrell.
Yes, Dawn Harrell.
Harrell.
Dawn
Harrell.
Harrell.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
FCM.
Yes.
FCM Miss Original.
MCW
original.
All right. That was very nice.
Thank you.
Do you like the spotlight that you're in right now?
Yes, but I stay humble about that. Like, I'm like, okay, God gave me this gift, but now I'm going to just stay humble about it. But to tell you the truth, my first ever fashion show, I ran and sold the whole school. I was like, to be the fashion show, you guys have to come. Mind you, everyone's laughing. Like, they're like, no way, she's just joking. Because when I first started out, I made my Instagram. So I'm like, you know what? My first goal was to make my own characters. Like, make my own characters come to real life, as in going to cartoons. So I was like, if I come into cartoons, I'm like, okay, I can do this. I can really work on this. And I was like, I wasn't thinking that my Instagram would even blow up that fast. So I'm like, okay, I see the numbers, but I'm humbled about it. Like, I love humbling myself because when I humble myself, people get to see everything else than me having to sell it. So I basically, like, I don't really have to talk. The Lord defends me. So, like, that's what I'm saying. So
look at you.
Thank you.
That is adorbs. I love it.
That
hair show?
That was a hair show in Atlanta, and I was walking for a Miracle Hands by Penny Bell.
Wow.
And I had to model, like, that was my first ever show about modeling it with the hair. So when I first did that, I was like, whoa, like, I can't even be a hair model? I didn't think I was going to go that far. Like, I'm like, thank you, God, but geez, I didn't know that.
There's so many aspects of modeling. You know, where do you think you fit? What is your niche? What is your one thing that you know you can slam it home?
Prince. It's Prince.
It's Prince.
It's just me. It's print. Like, I love showing my inner me, like my little me. Like, that's what you're looking at is me.
All right.
The little me. It's like finally shining. I'm like, yes, that's me.
That's beautiful. I love
Thank
it.
you.
Water, water, water. Yes, I love it. If you had to go for another crown, what would you like to go for?
Miss America.
Really?
Well, no, Miss Universe America, like, you know, the one that's always on, like, global. I've
Yes.
always wanted to go on there because I remember seeing my first fashion, or like I didn't know that there was just fashion. I got into pageantry, and I'm like, is it just this, or is it more to it? And my best friend was like, no, it's actually more than this. And
Mm-hmm.
she told me about it. And I'm like, oh, because she started doing like pageantry and stuff like that. So I'm like, ooh, okay, I like the little crowns and stuff like that. And she's like, and I'm like, does these crowns really go by you for the rest? And she's like, it does. And I'm like,
Yes.
oh,
Registered.
it's literally registered. And I'm like, oh, wow. I was like that.
Special.
So I just dream for the impossible. Like,
Well, there's nothing that is impossible for you to do, baby. You can accomplish anything you put your mind to. I can feel it in your spirit. You are just glowing, and you're just a beautiful young lady. Miss Sandy, you're doing a great job.
Thank
Kudos
you,
to you, Miss Sandy.
yeah.
You're welcome. You know, she's fabulous, and I just love you being here tonight. What would you like to see in your 5-year future?
You know, that's a big thing. Me and my sisters, we still talk about that. Um, well, 5 years.
Mhm. You'll be 21.
finish college.
Finish college,
Mhm.
middle school, elementary school, high school.
5 years.
5 years from now, I see myself being global, known all over the world.
Yes.
I see myself. I'm wanting to be married, so I see myself being married, having the
Okay.
like having a avant-garde kind of like a modern house.
Mm-hmm.
Um, well, 5 years from now, going into like the field that I really pursue my best in, like going to the field that I know that will fit best for me,
Mm-hmm.
like computer science, and I can see myself being in a lab with a lot of compassion robots and just working with them a lot. And I just, and I see myself like, I'm sorry, I see
It's
myself,
okay.
no, I just see myself celebrating everything that God has done for me, because I couldn't be here without Him. So I know
Amen.
that every day I wake up, I'll be like, thank you, God, because I know that I could have done it without you.
Amen, sweetie. And you keep that. And you keep that humility. I know God is instilled in you. I know He is with you, and your angels have their loving arms wrapped around you for protection. So I have no doubt about the way you're going.
Because I had this dream, and I remember I was in this big house, and it was a miracle. I was like, and I was just started shouting God. I was like, thank you, God, thank you, God, thank you so much.
Mm-hmm.
And when I woke up, I was like, thank you, God, for giving me that dream, because it's telling me I'm almost there. Like I'm almost at the finish line. Like I'm almost there. Have you ever saw this Princess Tiana where she had faith to wanting to get into, like, she really wanted that restaurant?
Mm-hmm.
Me, in a way, in a totally different role. So in 5 years, I see myself a little of an example of Tiana.
All right. All right. Look at this. Now, this article was in what magazine?
This article was in Elle Vision.
Elle Vision. Okay.
Right?
And is it just talking about you? What were you talking about in this particular article?
In that particular article, it was talking about mainly about my whole life.
Okay. Well, that's a beautiful picture of you. And what
Thank
sash is that?
That's my first ever stash. That's from Miss Perfect, World's Perfect, Miss
World's Perfect
Supermodel, Miss World's Perfect Supermodel. Sorry.
But I mean, you just manifest that into your world. I mean, into your life, and it's just going to come true. We already know you're going to be a supermodel, and then you'll be able to do your. Are you going to go into telecommunications, or are you going to go strictly into robotics?
I am going into, because I don't really want to just stay in robotics.
Mm-hmm.
I want to go into like developing computers, like
Okay.
making software, like software, being a software engineer, because I'm good with making websites, like
Mm-hmm.
coding, like I'm good with coding things.
Right.
When I first tried it out for the first time ever, I was like, wow, I can't believe I'm really smart with this. I want to go into this field. So it made me become more confident in my intelligence to want to pursue that career.
Well, if you model, your modeling could be your main day job until you become that PhD in your field. You know what I'm saying? That could finance you going to school, and with along with scholarships, of course. And that modeling could help you get to where you really want to be by the time you're 21. Let's say 21 or 25. You know, and then that's a good age range to. What I always say is young people need to have a life. You need to go to school, have some life, and then start rooting yourself somewhere. In grounding yourself in your field of choice. You
Right.
know, and you don't have to flip a hamburger for the rest of your life. You don't have to, wash cars for the rest of your life.
Oh
Not
no.
that's a bad thing, but
Right.
but
Right.
it's not for everyone. And if you have the talent in which you do, and the ability to speak the way you do, and the intelligence that you have, you are going to go a long way, especially because you're goal oriented. And we can see that in your pictures, because you give it, baby. You give. Look at you. Look at you, fabulousness. Look at that. Fabulous.
That's
Love it.
at that
Love
time.
it.
At that time, I wasn't even thinking that I was gonna win. Like I was just like, God, I don't know if I'm gonna win this or not. I don't even care if I'm going to win this. All I know is, God, I'm just walking with you. So if I don't finish this or I don't win, I'm okay with that. Like I'm okay. I know that you got something greater, better for me, and I'm just looking for it to go even farther than what I'm going right now. So when I first won, I was even praising God on the runway. I was like, thank you, God. Oh my goodness, this is great. I was like, I wasn't expecting to even win. I was like, what?
Well, honey, you did win. There you go. And that should tell you something about yourself. Perseverance is key. You can't give up when it gets hard. And you don't seem like a young lady that gives up when it gets hard.
Right.
Okay.
I understand that from the levels of really even schoolwork, like that does push me aside, but like I have to look at what God has for me,
Mm-hmm.
to look at what my future could be like. Like what can I do in 5 years, just like you said. Like if I like even when I'm doing tests, quiz, I look at my future. I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, where can I be at this moment? If I give up now, what can happen? I just go back to like what I've been through and just like seeing like what could happen if this don't happen.
Have
And
you
I
seen,
trust, and
have you
God tells
seen
me to
anything
just
that
trust.
scares you? Have you seen anything that make you afraid?
Mainly, I'm going to be honest. Mainly, sometimes it can be my intelligence or what people say of me and what they think of me, as in like an educational wise.
Mm-hmm.
Like I may not be good in this subject, but I'm really good in that subject. And
Mm-hmm.
sometimes they look at it like, oh, she's supposed to be smart or she's supposed to be perfect. And I'm like, that's not who I am. I'm not perfect.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes things cannot go so well and they still look at me perfectly. And I'm like, I'm not perfect. Like, I can try to be, but the only person that's perfect is God Himself. I
Absolutely.
can't be perfect. That's just not me.
Well, you have to take that stuff that they're trying to feed you, that negative energy, and you have to break away from that. Let that be like water off a duck's back and just roll on and you keep it moving. That's all you need.
Sometimes it can be like my hearing aids. Like, I don't have my hearing aids on. I'm supposed to be getting it next month. And I'm
Okay.
like, why is it taking that long? So I'm waiting, and I'm like, okay, I'm waiting patiently, Mom. When are I going to get my hearing aids? So I'm like
So
waiting,
funny.
and I'm like, okay.
They're coming.
Because it's crazy how I'm able to like read lips, because when I read lips, it helps me get better, especially with understanding what's going on around me.
Mm-hmm.
So
Well, I hope
it's
I'm speaking
it
clear
has,
enough for you to understand exactly what I'm saying.
okay.
Okay.
It has been a struggle, especially with my speech, but I'm gonna keep going. Like, I'm not quitting. I'm gonna keep going.
I know you are. I know you are. Who inspired you, sweetheart?
My mom,
Your mom.
she always told me to keep going no matter what. Like, you're gonna start something, you're gonna finish it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care what life throws at you. Whatever these people say about you, it's like, yeah, whatever. But you know deep in your heart where you want to go. You know where you want to be. So it's continues to fight no matter what, who stands in your way. It's it's about where you're going to be in 5 years. Not where others are going to be. It's basically where you want to set where I want to be. Like where Jackie wants to be. Where I can see my future going. I can't think about anyone else.
Mm-hmm.
So I make sure my priority is straight.
What is your strength?
Fighting.
Fighting. That's one of mine too, sweetie. You're a
Um,
warrior.
like, yes, a worry of God.
Absolutely, baby, and I'm proud of it. And you have to be proud being a warrior of God. Absolutely. What are your weaknesses?
My weakness is sometimes trusting the process, like trusting that it will lead to something great or something major, even though it may not seem what it's going to be like. And sometimes it can be very hard, especially like I fall, I get back up, I fall, I get back up. But I'm like, I hope that in 2 years and 3 years that I will go and make my dream come true. Because
Baby,
I
if
have a lot of
you
people
keep
that doubt
working, you
and
keep
say,
working, you keep
not
believing, you will make that dream come true,
right.
because perseverance is key. Being prepared is key. And your mother has made you prepared, baby. I mean, you have done the work and put in the time and the effort, and you are prepared. You have a resume longer than people that have been in the business 10, 15 years, and you have a resume better than them.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
But
You,
just being told, like,
I, I
sometimes,
just see you doing so much more.
right. Sometimes it can be a bit hard when you
Mhm.
have people telling you you're not going to be able to make it, or I don't see this happening 2, 3 years ago, or this is not gonna matter. It's like sometimes those things eat me inside, and it's like it just goes back to when I fall. But I'm like, but my God is stronger. My God is greater. He's not gonna make me fall. So all those voices, I'm not gonna keep letting you control it, because my God will not let me fall.
Absolutely, absolutely. And even if you did fall, sweetheart, as long as you get up, you still have God's grace.
Right.
You know, you still have God's blessing.
Yes.
Lewis just put something up. I Lewis is kind of. I'm not sure what this is because it's very teeny.
Um. That
Oh, I love the picture.
Thank you. That is state. I'm a North Carolina state representative.
Oh, okay, wonderful. And
Yes,
what are you? What do you
it's the Yes
represent?
I Can award, if I'm right.
I'm
Yes,
sorry.
Okay, yeah, okay, it is, it is, it is, it is.
And what are you representing?
I'm representing. my disability, people with DHH, which is deaf, hard of hearing.
Okay.
Um,
You're the advocate.
I'm the advocate for DHH, deaf, hard of hearing.
Mm-hmm. And how do you advocate for deaf, hard of hearing?
Just speaking, just being me, just being who I am,
Mm-hmm.
and by helping, like being myself, even what I'm doing right now, like just being myself, and just being able to just
Be unique and be you.
yeah.
Talk about it.
Yeah.
Basically, I know I'm deaf hard of hearing myself, and I know that people like me is being told, oh, you're pretending to be deaf, or oh, you'll never make it because of this, or oh, this, and oh, that. And it hurts. Yeah, I know that. But you got to look at it as, okay, I can do this. Just because I'm like this, don't mean I can't do it. Just
Mm-hmm.
because I'm deaf hard of hearing, don't like, basically, I want to inspire them in whatever dream they want to do. I
Mm-hmm.
want to be that lady that everyone that's able for inspiration. Like,
Mm-hmm.
have you seen that model on America Next Top Model?
Which one?
He's deaf hard of hearing.
I missed him. No, I missed the season.
I don't really remember his name, but he actually won. I kind of want to be like him. And he wasn't scared to let everyone know. He had like an instructor, like interpreter for even all his shows. And I remember there was this one season, his last season, and he was walking so fast and everyone was like, slow down, but he didn't hear them.
Mm-hmm.
So he was like, slow
Mm-hmm.
down, don't walk so fast. And he's like, oh, I have to slow down. And it's like, I kind of want to be like a person that everyone look up to, because in the celeb world, things are not being so taken so great. Things are not really like, little girls and little boys are not in that mind space
Mm-hmm.
to be successful as they like because of looking up to negative people that don't need to be looked up to.
Right.
When I do get up to that world, and I know it's going to happen very soon with God's grace, I kind of want to be that inspiration saying, even though I'm here right now, even though, but you can do it too. Just
Mm-hmm.
like I can do it, you can do it too. It's like just giving them confidence and giving them that inspiration, because I know that they're not with people like that.
Mm-hmm.
They sometimes, some of them are probably with people that breaks them down or
Mm-hmm.
everything, and they still have that confidence as, I'm gonna try to do this. It's not you're going to try, you're going to make it. I
Say
want to
it, baby.
be that celeb that every little boy and every little girl looks up to. Even when I pass, they still remember my name, because I want to be that
Yes.
inspiration for little ones. And even
Yes,
the
baby.
older ones, like bringing that inspiration,
Yes.
the children and adults' mind, saying, even though I'm like 90 years old, I can still do it. I can still make it. I can still make it to the highest fashion show or the highest pageant that, or any industry that I want to go in. It's just believing that you can really do it and conquer it, and looking up to like a person like probably like Michael. You know how Michael Jackson and every little kid is looking up to him, like even till right now, like they're like, oh, that's Michael, but Michael's not here anymore. Like, I want to have that kind of thing. Like, that's why I'm studying fighting. So when I'm fighting, I'm not fighting by myself, or I'm not fighting just for myself. I'm fighting for little kids that are still being told, even right now, saying, oh, they're not going to be able to do it. Oh, this and oh, that. But you cannot let those words stop you. You have to keep going forward. And I know that things may not be great right now, but you just gotta imagine yourself being like probably like a musician, and you're like the biggest singer ever. You just got to keep using your imagination, because that's what I did and that's what I'm doing. So that I know that little kids, so they can start using their imagination, because some of them want to be grown and wants to be unacting of the age. And so I'm like, no, ladies don't do all of that. They dance very nicely. They like in ballroom dancing and stuff like that. Like, I want to give them that mindset of princesses, Disney, fairy tale tales. Like, nowadays it's not like that. I want to bring something of like more friendlier than the celebrities that are up there.
That sounds wonderful. Very good, Jackie. I know that you aspire to be such a strong person, and you're already such a strong person in your presence. You know, I think you need to go ahead and apply for America's Next Top Model. Go ahead. Look at you. What, baby? You ready? You ready? You got the resume. You ready? Yeah. Nothing should hold you back from. Look at you. Look at you. Gorgeous. Yes, gorgeous. You know, and you wear your crown so well, young queen. You wear your crown so well. You know, and I'm glad to hear that you want to share the wealth amongst youth that are having the same difficulties that you have, you know, and other people outside of that disability situation, outside of the box. Because baby, you are comforting, and you're a light of guidance, you know, for so many, I'm quite sure, you know, already. And you probably don't know, like we always say, there, you never know who's watching you. You just never know. And you probably don't know that there's some 12-year-old, there's some 10-year-old girl that's watching what you do online. You know?
I want to say to keep using our imagination, like, no matter what. Like, you like cartoons? Okay, you can do this. Like, those cartoons are actually inspiring. Like let's say, Looney Tunes. Okay, they have the little cartoon characters. They're funny. It's just being you that makes you who you are. At the innocence, it's just keeping the innocence there. Because it's just like, you can have this one belief and say, oh, you watch cartoons. That's for babies. No, cartoons are not for babies. They're just for people like me and you. Why try to be grown when you can be a kid?
Well, why be young as long as you can, because being an adult is not always fun. It just isn't. It's called life, and life be lifing sometimes, you know. But it's best to be positive in your life as much as you can, and be around strong women in your life. I'm sure Miss Sandy keeps you around strong, positive individuals, you know, all the time. Because if she had not, you wouldn't be where you are. And you have been on multiple platforms, multiple platforms. You know, tell me about how you get to go on all these different shows.
My mom.
My mom.
And let's be honest, let's say God and my mom.
Yes. And once you find out that you have a show, how do you prepare?
I normally am calm. Like, when it comes to traveling and stuff like that, I'm really calm. And I'm not worried about anything. I'm like, okay, God is in control. Everything will be fine. Like, I'm just like the trusting one. I'm like, okay, everything will be fine. Meanwhile, my mom's like crazy. She's like, oh, and the suitcase is gonna get ready. This, that. Only November. Chill out, Mom. Stay calm, Mom. But I'm the calm one, and she's like the crazy one. Like, oh my goodness, everything else is gonna be crazy. I'm like, oh no. I'm like, Mom, relax. Even in the interview, she was rushing. I was like, Mom, we're here. Relax.
Relax. It's okay. Miss Sandy, did you want to be a model?
No, ma'am.
Oh, you just like being behind the scenes, Miss Sandy?
Yes, I just love to see, you know, my kids do what they love, you know, whether it's in music, whatever it is. I just like to see the feedback. I just like to see them enjoying what they love to
Pop
do.
your head in, Miss Sandy. It look like I'm talking to a wall.
I'm sorry. I'm
Pop
not.
your head
No,
in over
no,
here.
no. I'm not dressed.
That's all right. Pop your face in. It's all right.
I just feel like, we struggle a lot, so why not have them take that moment out to enjoy what they do?
Mm-hmm.
It's a blessing if I can say, okay, guys, this is the plan. What you want to do? Are we
Right.
doing this show? Or are we not? Most of the time it's yes, but mom, or sometimes I'll look at it and say, you know what, this is not the spot for you because it
Mm-hmm.
doesn't represent us in that light. So we're gonna have to cancel this and cancel that. But I just like to see them enjoy what they do.
Well, that's fabulous. And you've done a beautiful job. Know that you have. And this young lady, she has taken off. I mean,
Oh,
you're out there already, baby.
Also, not only that,
Yes,
I like to shout out my sisters because
please do.
they've been my ride or die.
Mm-hmm.
And like, I would have Anushka. Anushka's like, Jackie, you could do it. And I'm like, okay. She wants to be a webcaster. She's like, okay, the recordings are live and everything. So it's just speaking things to existence. And my other sister, Anila, she wants to be like a hairstylist
Mm-hmm.
and wants to go into the military. And so we would pretend as if I'm the sergeant, and I would just pretend, and just by using our imaginations, it actually happens. So
Absolutely.
I can't do anything without my sisters, neither my brothers,
Mm-hmm.
because my brothers has been my inspiration since I was 5 years old, and I've always looked up to them. Even things may not be so well, or things may not what I've planned, but I've always been looking up to my brothers, no matter what the situation was, because I don't know, they've just been like just so strong, and they just been like close to me. Like even though it may not look like it now, or it may not be so far right now, but if it wasn't for my sisters and my brothers, my imagination would not be here.
Mm-hmm.
My playfulness would not be here. Me being myself, I would not be myself if it wasn't for my sisters and my brothers. I It's a big shout out and a big compliment to all my brothers and all my sisters that's always trying to see me grow, and especially my friends at that moment. And sometimes you have our off and ons, and they're even shouting me out. They're like, you can do this, or don't worry about anything, or you're just panicking. Stop it. Chill out. Like, be fine. I'm like, are you sure? They're like, you've been doing it since 13. Chill. And I'm like, okay, I'll chill. And I'm just grateful to have my friends and my ma'am
Mm-hmm.
here with me to see me grow. And they know what's best for me, so they always push me to be my best and be who God is calling me to be.
Look at that. I really love that color on you. I mean, the little look
Thank
that you
you.
have,
I don't
the little
really.
over the shoulder look is very nice. Very nice. You look like you mischievous.
Yes. Um, I don't know if she left though.
I think we might be done.
It says stand by.
Mm-hmm. So for a great
But
interview.
it's just seeing that you can do it, like being that inspiration, like like that one woman that loves children and want to see them actually use their imagination. That's something that I really want to do. It's like just
Bring back the innocence.
yes,
Mm-hmm.
mom, because
The
these
world is
little
Can you hear
terrible.
me?
yeah, you don't see
Can you
this.
hear me now?
Yes, I can hear
Oh,
you.
okay, great. I know it's something you really want to do is bring back. I heard you say you wanted to bring back the innocence. When do you think the best time for working with the youngsters, the babies, while they're still innocent? You know, what do we need to do, and how do we need to capture that for them? What do you think? How
Let's
would
think
you do?
of how would you help Sadi?
How would you help?
Um, just by looking at what they want to do, or like what their parents say they're really good at, like singing. Because my little sister, she's like 5 years old, and that's Sadia. She likes to sing, and so I'm like, and she likes to do even cartwheels. She likes the
Gymnast.
gymnastics, and so I'm like, she falls and she's like, Jackie, do you want me to keep going? I'm like, she would stare at me like, you want me to keep going or you want me to stop? And I'm like, no, keep going.
Right.
Like, you fall, you stumble, get back up. And because I wanted to be a therapist, but there was one party that didn't want to see me grow. And he would tell me, oh, about that. You say you want to do this, well, it's not gonna happen. And I'm like, you know what? I don't want to be old. I want to get when I get older. I used to always tell myself, when I get older, I'm going to be that wonderful woman that's going to inspire the whole world of children, and inspire the innocence that they have.
Mary
And
Poppins.
yeah, and so I thought of it. I was like, yeah, I'm going to be a therapist. So my sister was like, one day, my little sister, she was like 5 years old when she told me this. She was like, I want to be a hairstylist. And I was like, what dragged you into being a hairstylist? She was like, I don't know. I just like the unique braiding and the color and stuff, because she heard from what my other sister said. And she was like, yeah, Jackie, I'm going to be a hairstylist. So I'm like, are you sure? She's like, yeah, I want to go into it. So I'm like, okay, this is everything you got to know about it, but you have to push yourself. You gotta do it. And she's like, okay, okay, okay. And so I'm like, are you still going to do your gymnastics? She's like, yes, I'm still going to do it. I'm going to do it. So I'm like, okay, just remember, we got to practice your cartwheels. And if you fall, get back up. And she's like,
No.
okay, okay. And she would do her cartwheels, and I'm like, she would fall and she would a little hurt herself a little bit. And I'm like, get back up. You can do it. So
Mm-hmm.
motivating children that really, really want to do something they say they really want to do. Like like being a basketball player, like they want to do it. Something that I think that would help is pursuing them to, like, not forcing them, but having that same mindset, like keeping the same mindset when they get when they get 16 to 17 years old. As like an example, as me, still be wanting to become a therapist, even though at 5 years old, I felt that I didn't know what I was talking about at that time, but I knew that I wanted to pursue something. Like, they know what they want to pursue, so it's best to push them and for them to still have that mindset, because
Wow.
it'll make the world a better place, because you always have teachers or other people that are always doubting, like dream killers, and
Oh,
those are what
yes.
little kids run into nowadays. They're like, oh, no, you can't be a doctor. Oh, doctors are not like this. Oh, you gotta wait until you're older just to become a doctor. And so that's what kills them, because that's what they used to tell me at 5 years old. I said, okay, I want to become a therapist. And they're like, no, you can't become a therapist. You're not old enough to become a therapist. And I'm like, why would you say that to me? And I'm only 5 years old. So I just still hold my head up as I'm doing right now. I'm like, okay, you say I'm not going to be a therapist? Well, guess what? I'm going to show you I'm going to be a therapist. And I know that some kids don't have that mindset. They just give up so easily. And that's what, that's what not make them want to have that I'm still a kid kind of vibe. It just makes them want to be grown so fast, and
Right.
that's what happens in the world. And I want to be that. I want to be that inspiration, and snatch them out of that negativity and put them in a place that they know they can do it. Like, I'm going to be a mathematician. well, at 5 years old, that's what you say? Okay, let's make that happen. Like,
Right.
let's push you into becoming a musician or a mathematician, no matter what the teachers say. You have to look at what you can do. You can't always listen to what teachers have to say
You
or
have to
what.
understand your
You
own potential.
gotta worry about what you know that you want to do.
Right. You have to understand your own potential, but you
Right.
sometimes you are around negativity, and it does sink in, and it does make yourself hold back or pull back from what your
Right.
dreams are. And it's so good to see and refreshing to have someone on the show that already knows what she wants to do, how she wants to do it, when you want to do it, and where you want to do it. And we don't see that in young people nowadays. And
I
so,
want.
you're very unique. You are
Right.
a very unique young woman, and what your strength is bringing forth is bringing your light. And I know God is the light of your life. I
Right.
understand that, because it shines through you as you speak, because you're so eloquently speaking and talking about speaking about very well, and understanding where you're going in your life. And
Okay.
you know who leads your life first, and foremost. And it's great that you have a wonderful mom that helps you get to where you need to be, and is so proud of you. I have to say congratulations on that. Thank you, Miss Sandy, for doing that.
So
There she is. Okay. But um if you
that's my
had to
main goal.
change something
Like
in our
just
industry,
wanting to like really inspire little kids, mom,
can,
like
can,
Sadia, like
can you hear
just
me?
like
Keeping a
wanting,
positive
yeah, it's
mindset.
like the positive mindset because these
So much.
celebrities in the world are
Lewis, can you go
so
out and tell her that
negative. It's like they say that
we're
when
not
they're like doing
we're not
interviews,
Because
they
connected?
they
say that they
expect
want to do
people
that,
like us to
Can
be
you send her a
always
message?
drama.
right?
Hmm.
And they say they're gonna do it, and then when they get in, they're like dancing oddly, and I'm like, is this saying that you have that figure?
Hello?
Hi.
Okay, hold on 1 second. Okay, there we go. Yeah, you guys were talking and I could hear you, but you couldn't hear me.
Right.
Okay, so if you had to change something about the industry right now, what would you change?
The mindset.
Ah, yes, ma'am. Good answer. Yes, ma'am.
The mindset of how people think when they see children and the industry I look at as being positive, and sometimes like it's not always positive, and I understand things are not always perfect, but it's just the mindset of how others think about themselves
Mm-hmm,
or how others think about someone else.
mm-hmm,
It's the mindset is the reason I choose mindset because it's like you're like 21 years old and you're going after me. Like there was many models that were at my throat and I didn't understand why. And I'm like, you're an adult. Why are you bullying a child?
mm-hmm.
And they're like, oh, you walk different. Like you're trying to be grown and all of this. And I'm like, it's your mindset that's wrong.
Right,
Why
right.
do you think so negatively and wrongly about yourself and others?
Mm-hmm.
Children is looking up to you. We're not on the runway just to be on the runway. We're on the runway to inspire people like
Yes,
children.
absolutely. Well, I am so grateful to you for being on and doing your thing and being who you are and coming in so transparent. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
And you have been a fabulous guest. I can't wait to have you back. Will you come back?
Yes.
You promise?
Yes. I will.
Okay. Well, I
Hopefully,
want
I
you
won't
to
have
come
any
back.
shows.
I want
So
you to
I'm
come
gonna
back.
totally cancel any shows. And
Come back after the holiday. I want to know what you did over the holiday. I can only imagine what you're going to do in January. With the
yes.
new
Yes.
year coming. Thank you so much. Thank you, Miss Sandy.
Thank you, Miss Kiana.
You're welcome. I love you guys. I can't wait to work with you one day.
Yes, ma'am.
It sounds like a wonderful opportunity.
Yes, I cannot wait for what the future holds and for the kids and for Jackie. I'm just ecstatic right now because of, when you go through so much and to finally seeing your fruits and your labor just blossoming in
She
a
makes you laugh.
positive way. I mean, you just got to jump up and give God a high five.
Amen. Ha! Yes, yes, yes. Well, we're going to go ahead and tune out. Thank you so much again, Jackie. I love you, baby.
Thank
Much
you.
love. Model love, baby. Model love.
Thank you.